Hi guys, Steve Ludlow from Harlow Group here. I hope you're all really well. Just wanted to check in on the topic today of recruiting top performing salespeople in the technology space. So I'm talking about somebody that you're bringing into your business to bring in new logos and win new business in an enterprise selling environment or a government selling environment, where you might be asking them to bring in anywhere between $1 and $3 million in revenue. This is the space that we specialise in and that we've dedicated our entire resource base to here at Harlow Group. And the reason why we specialise in this space is we're making a real difference to organisations in the accuracy hiring. And with top performing salespeople being very few and far between, with, depending on whose stats you believe, somewhere between 55 and 65% of technology salespeople in Australia not achieving their targets right now. And the average tenure being around 18 months for these people in businesses. And we're talking just as their pipeline's built up and they're starting to make some ground in terms of building a return on investment on your hire, they're out the door. So it's a real problem, right? How do you better make decisions in this space and better manage your risk in order to get the revenue uplift you're looking for? Well, we've found that it really comes down to 3 areas over and above everything else you need to be focusing on. So the first one is ensuring that whoever you bring into your business has an ingrained business development discipline and a process by which that they know that they can get in front of enough of the right customers for your target audience in order to have the size of pipeline they need in order to be able to hit their budgets. So here's the thing, right? When you're interviewing a sales person, you get to see how they sell because they're selling themselves. So it's a really good insight. The interview process is a really good insight into how they sell. What it doesn't give you is an insight into what they're doing when they're not in front of the customer. Now, we all know salespeople that when they're in front of the customer, they're brilliant. They get great conversion on the deals that they're looking at. But at the end of the day, 6 to 12 months into the role, they're struggling because their pipeline's not big enough. And the problem with these sorts of people is it's what they're doing when they're not in front of the customer that's the issue. And perhaps they're not proactive enough or don't have a discipline or rhythm around the activities that they do that consistently deliver pipeline. You want to make sure that somebody comes into your business with that discipline. Now, if you're a 100% inbound business where you've got a brilliant a marketing engine that delivers leads to your salespeople at the right volume, such that they'll hit budget without having to be proactive. Congratulations, because there's only 20-30% of technology businesses that have been able to achieve that to the degree where they don't need their salespeople to be proactive at all in terms of finding new opportunities outside of that marketing pipeline. But yeah, 70 to 80% of businesses don't have that, and therefore they need to be focusing on what the salesperson is doing when they're not in front of the customer. So I'm not talking about whether or not it's inbound or outbound necessarily. I'm talking about somebody that has a repeatable process that they're bringing with them that they know will deliver X amount of meetings with the right people at the right time. So that's the first thing to focus on. The second thing that we see bring success in this environment is focusing on somebody that has an innate and natural commercial curiosity. So I'm not talking about necessarily somebody that can articulate solution selling, target account selling, Neil Rackham spin selling to you and tell you that they like to ask questions. I'm talking about somebody that is naturally this way. Somebody that when you meet with them, they're full of questions and curiosity about your business. So they're naturally curious. And secondly, they have a brilliant business acumen. They understand business at a deep level, and therefore the questions that they ask and the curiosity that they have tend to get them to the bottom of whatever it is that the client's trying to achieve, be that a new opportunity for their business to grow, or be that to solve a problem. Now, when you have somebody with a strong business acumen who's innately curious, whether or not they're following spin or target account selling or solution selling, they will organically get to the bottom of what a customer's needs are, and they'll do it in a way that the customer feels comfortable and natural in that environment because this person is natural in their curiosity. They're not following a sales process per se, they're just getting to the bottom of what it is the client's trying to achieve. then they can make a qualified and trusted recommendation that a piece of the technology that they're selling can solve that problem. Until the customer's convinced that you understand their problem, they're not going to listen to any recommendation, right? So find somebody who's innately curious and has a strong business acumen. We like to call it commercial curiosity. The third and final thing that you should be focusing on in order to get a good hire in this space is evidence. How many salespeople have you hired in the past? They perform well in interview, and you get them to a point where they're in your team and they start underperforming and behaving in ways you wouldn't expect that lead them to not achieving their budgets. We've all done it. So I encourage you to actually get evidence from the salesperson that you're interviewing that they've been achieving their budgets in recent history and that they've done it consistently over a sustained period of time. So I'm not talking about checking a reference and speaking to a customer whereby they'll tell you that they, solve their problems and were a great salesperson, because that proves they've won a customer. We've all done that. What I'm talking about is somebody that can produce tangible evidence. It might be a photo of a recent trophy they won for being in President's Club. Whatever that might look like, but it has to be evidence that they're achieving their numbers. And if they can't produce that evidence, you want to know that they can put you in contact with somebody that they've reported to in recent history that can speak to their performance. So there are the three things that I believe you should be focusing on when recruiting top technology salespeople. So number one, it's an ingrained business development discipline and a repeatable process that they're going to bring to your business that delivers the right amount of pipeline with the right prospects at the right time. What is it that they're doing when they're not in front of the customer? The second is an innate and commercial curiosity, combining a natural curiosity with a strong business acumen. And the third is evidence. Get evidence that this person is actually achieving their targets. We want winners in our team, so get evidence that they actually are a winner and not part of that 55 to 65% of people that are not achieving their targets. And in an ideal world, you should be aiming for the top 20%. That's what we specialize in, and that's what we're giving our clients access to in that technology sales space. Shoot for the top 20%. It's out there. You might need to be proactive in order to get it. It might not, that top 20% performer is probably not applying to your job adverts. But at the end of the day, they're out there. So that's the standard that you should be setting, in my opinion. What I might do is record a couple more videos breaking these three areas down in terms of how you qualify them. So hopefully that has helped you to create some rigor around your recruitment process for technology salespeople in such a way that you can better manage your risk. Until the next video, here's to your sales success, and have a great day.